Hey guys, this is Grace here. I wanted to take a second to talk about kind of confusing topic from our Unit 2, which is in the Gilded Age PowerPoint, which is vertical versus horizontal integration. I have a slide in the PowerPoint, but a couple students still had a question about it, so I thought I'd draw you a picture, a really crude picture, to demonstrate what I'm talking about here to help you understand it the same way that I would in my classroom. Okay, so what these images are supposed to be are different stages of production to create a manufactured product. So this is the image that I would draw in my classroom, demonstrating how a product is taken from its raw material into the finished manufactured product that you'd buy. So we start with raw material, we go through a stage of processing, and then we have the factory that creates the finished product. So if we were talking about oil, we would start with mining and getting the crude oil out of the ground. Then we would send it to a refinery where it would be processed into a product that could be turned into manufactured goods like plastics, gasoline, etc. So we're talking about Rockefeller and Carnegie and vertical and horizontal integration. What we're talking about is how they gained a monopoly by controlling these stages of production. So in the case of Carnegie and vertical integration, what he did is he had a company that got each of these stages of productions, this time in the case of steel. So there was a Carnegie mine that dug out iron ore, which is the base process or the base product that steel is manufactured from. And then he had processing factories with smelters who would turn that iron ore into iron and then created steel. And then you would have factories that produced steel products like railroad lines and anything else that you would use steel for. So for horizontal or vertical integration, Carnegie gained all the stages of production from beginning to end so that it creates this vertical pattern. And what this allowed him to do was then cut out the middleman. So he didn't have to pay someone to process his goods. He didn't have to have a separate mine to buy his product from. So this allowed him, along with the other practices that he did of undercutting or underpaying his workers, creating competition among his employees, and making them work in dangerous working conditions allowed him to undercut his competition. So he saved money in the process, which increases his profit, which then allows him to cut out his competition, and then he gets a monopoly over the steel industry. In contrast, horizontal integration, which is what Rockefeller did, Rockefeller says you don't need to get all of the oil production from beginning to end to get a monopoly. You can just get one stage of it. All right, so that's what Rockefeller did. He effectively controlled 90% of the oil refineries in the United States. So anybody that was taking their oil from crude oil production or were needing to try to make manufactured oil products had to go through Rockefeller and Standard Oil. So this allows him to undercut his competition, allows him to make a bunch of profit, and this in turn gives him a monopoly over his industry. Okay, guys, thanks for watching, and I hope this helps.